Yo, what it does, YouTubes? What it does? Salute to you guys and welcome in. I could not put you guys through that as well as I could not put myself through that. I refuse to listen to that low quality BS, especially when yo boy Blizzy, that boy, that boy. What's up, Mustard Squirrel? Salute to you and welcome in, my good sir. But that boy Blizzy has come up, my homies. It turns out, guys, it turns out your boy Blizzy actually got a talent for painting. And it turns out, odd as it may be, and as strange as it may sound, your boy Blizzy sold all but three paintings yesterday, 2 or 3 days ago, and got a brand new setup. I got two monitors, I got four microphones, I got headsets, I got all. Man, your boy Blizzy did it up, and like I promised you guys that I would spend the money on my setup, every single penny of it went to my setup. So I am not completely familiar with all of it and how to work all of it. I can't even fucking, excuse my French. Hey, Chichi, salute. Welcome in, and I'm so happy to see you here. Salute to you and welcome in. Um, but yes, man. It turns out that uh, only the people on YouTube think I'm a big fat bitch, and there are people all over the place that actually really dig my art and pay for it. So how about that? As incredible as that might be, man. And it's odd, it's crazy, it's crazy. I don't hold it against most of you guys because most of you guys are touch and go. Like I don't expect any of you guys to like have great investment, but it's crazy because the people that bought the art or that bought all my art, all of it, man. I'm talking like I think it was 17 pieces, uh, 17 pieces of art, and a few people even asked to have songs created for them, and I told them that we would discuss it. So nothing is absolute with that. I did not make any promises, but they were happy AF. They were like really happy. But uh I'm back, man. I'm back. I am back at it. I am back like Square's grandpa's heart attack. No, I'm just playing. I'm just playing. God bless him. And I was talking about when his dog got stolen, not in any regular normal kind of heart attack way. But salute to you guys, man. Salute to you guys and salute to me, guys, because you know what? I promise you, y'all have no idea what kind of struggle it is to stream with a bullshit ass half broken computer. I didn't even have a whole screen. I didn't even have one whole screen. Damn, it looks good to have two. Like it's hold on. Oh, hold up. Let me put on a shirt. Alright. Gotta keep that thing on me. But yes, look. If you look right over here, God dang it. I almost suffocated that, guys. But yes, uh, I got the whole shebang, man, the whole setup, and my cords are too short. I do keep my sword on me, in case you were wondering. Oh, hold on. Somebody is messaging me. Hold them up. 1 second, guys. Man, you're so cool, Chi Chi. Like you're like the coolest, dude. I hope one day we get to like chop it up and like talk one on one, cause like I love your attitude and smiley faces and stuff, dude. But hang on a sec, guys. Oh, and I did put Discord on the new computational device. So let me see, where the freak did it go though? Oh, here it is. Let's see if actually doing what. Okay, I'm back. Yeah, one of my favorite people, man. One of my all time favorite people, Due Diligence, messaged me. So I told him just go ahead and come on through. I thought that I had fractured my tailbone, man. And no, not doing no stuff like Square does. Thank you. Uh, I thought I had fractured my tailbone on some no Diddy stuff, and I couldn't walk for like a good minute. But then somebody offered me an obscene amount of money for a painting, and I was like, I was like, I was like, you know what? Excuse me. Let me tell you how it went. Yeah, my tailbone. Yeah, for real. Uh, oh, somebody offered me an obscene amount of money on well, I'm not gonna tell y'all where I do my business, but well, it was actually a couple of different places. Um, and I was like, nah. I was like, honestly, like it's not worth that. And then they said something. They said something that changed like the whole trajectory of my whole life, man. They're like, how are you gonna tell me what art I want to buy is worth? And I was like, damn, you're right. And then they asked me if I had a collection, and then they asked me if I was ever interested in doing a collection, and then turns out I might actually do a collection. And if I do a collection, I'm gonna do it in series. Series is I'm gonna do. I only have three. One, two, three, four. Out of the canvases, they're all gone, and I only have four paintings left. What do you call it? And it's like, dude, it's like that's like my freaking dream come true. Like that's not just like my dream come true, man. That's like thank you so much, Chichi. Thank you so much, man. You're the only one that is here, so like thank you so much. I know that I don't want to like overwhelm you, and like I'm not trying to like brag and act like I'm better than nobody or nothing like that. I promise. I just y'all guys see on a daily basis, man, how humble I try to stay, how hard I try to work, how like I just stayed grinding out my life, and things usually turn out shitty. But the thought had occurred to me. I came and asked. It sucks. It sucks, man. It sucks because I really the people on YouTube are fucking shit, man. Like I mean, not all of them, of course. Not you, Chi Chi, but like for the most part, man. Oh, hold on. Let me grab a regular size chair. Okay. I say I say that the people on YouTube are shitty because before okay, okay. I don't know if you were here, Chichi, but the other day like I went all emo and was like saying about making amends with somebody. Well, the reason why that's like so important to me is because my my creativity and my ability to like create has been turned off since then. So like until my spirit is like put at ease with with certain things that I've done wrong, like my creativity is stunted. But man, like the artist in me, the art that I will create before I die is going to be great. And I know that. I know that for a fact. I like God has put that in my heart. And on multiple uh like platforms or instances or whatever. I make music and I paint and I do. Just started doing charcoal drawings. What do you call it? And all the people on YouTube, people that have donated money here and there, people that donate money to other people all the time. Like it's so crazy how things turned out because I was like, okay, my computer is trash. Like I can't continue to stream or anything. I can't even continue to fucking I can't even watch YouTube. I have to get a new computer. And something was just in my spirit telling me that the selling my art was going to be the way to do it. So I said, you know what, man? What would be cool is that the people on YouTube have known me longest. They have seen me go through so much. They've seen me conquer some demons and stuff like that. So I want those people to be the people to purchase my first art. That way, when God does finally decide to let me uh, step my artistry game up and actually like create some of the things that are in my mind so that those people will be the people that will be able to have that art. I, wouldn't you know it though? I come to YouTube. I'm like, hey, here's all my art, and I show, and I mean, it's not like it's not ugly. You can't say it's ugly. Like, you could say, I guess, like it's not your style or whatever, but like, cool. But not one single person, not friend, not supporter. not homie, not wannabe girlfriend, not one single person bought one single piece of art. And I could have been selling that shit for $1 for all anybody knows. Not one person. And it's like, wow, like, uh, tell me you don't fuck with me without telling me that you don't fuck with me, you know? But it put it in perspective in my mind because I said, okay, YouTube is not the place to grow. So I wrote down all of the and I was notebook and paper, man. My my where's my notebook? My digital notepad was non-existent. So I wrote down the places where I might be able to. Sorry, I'm gonna eat a piece of candy and I'm opening the package. It might be loud. So I wrote down my options of places where I could possibly get rid of it. And lo and behold, not only were people interested in it, I mean like actually interested in it. Like it's been so long since I've had cuz like I got so many haters on YouTube. Like everybody on YouTube hates me for the stupidest fucking reasons. Oh, I hate Blind because him and him and this girl had this situation and blah blah blah. And I hate Blind because he thinks that the time zone takes 32 hours to get to fucking Russia and like, dude, you're too stupid to even understand what the fucking time zone is, bro. And yet you hate me for that reason. Like, you hate me because I did something wrong to a girl that would not even kiss you if you were a fucking rich frog that was gonna become a millionaire and marry her and shit. Like, it makes no sense to me. But yet I go and introduce myself to complete strangers and say, "Hey, this is who I am. That I am bearing my soul to you to scrutinize, and if you want to partake, to participate, to be able to walk down your hallway and see a piece of my soul and interact with it every day." And people were so happy to do that in other places besides you. Fuck YouTube. That's my moral of the story. Yeah, I pretty much hate YouTube. Does somebody want to steal my identity? Oh shit. Hang on, I gotta go handle something. Hold on, guys. Yo, okay, I am here. Do are you still here? I yo. Okay, yeah. If you can hear me, I completely forgot that I had to do some legal things, some paperwork stuff for the paintings that I sold, and it completely slipped my mind until I was talking about it right now. So I'm gonna take care of that right now. But dude, if you are here, bro, you're more than welcome to come up and join me. Yeah, it's crazy, man. It's crazy. I guess it's a lot like family, you know. Oh, here we go. What's up, my brother?
What it do, man? Can you hear me?
You there, dude?
Hello, hello. You can't hear me right now? Oh, shit. Hello, 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 hello. Can you hear me now?
Hold up. I see your thing moving, but I'm not getting any sound. What the
Hello,
fuck?
hello.
How is that possible?
Can you hear me now?
How
Hello, hello.
can you say something?
Can you hear me?
What? And you can hear me?
Yep,
What the
I can hear you.
fuck is going on?
Can you hear me now?
Still nothing.
Damn it.
Hold on. Let me see. Hold up. Give me 1 second. Try again.
Hello, hello. Check,
No,
check, 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 check.
I'll
Test.
fix it. Just give me 1 second.
Check, check, check. Testing, testing. Hey, Royce.
Okay, what about now?
Check, check, check.
Dude, what the? Hold on. Let me go out and come back in. Okay, what about now?
Testing, testing, check, check.
Yes, yes. Now we're cooking.
Yeah, what it do, man?
What it do? Bro, bro,
What's
dude,
happening?
God is good, homie. You know that?
Indeed.
Bro, like gooder than we ever know, bro.
Tell me something good then.
Well, I don't know if you saw my last stream, dog, but I was pretty much uh begging anybody on here to buy my paintings, which nobody did. Well, I turned around and brainstorm of where I could possibly do that business at, bro. And I sold every one of them but three, dog. And I made a grip, bro.
Nice. Congratulations, man. I know that got to feel good, bro. For sure.
I I got a new computer. Well, I got a whole new setup, dog. I got my dual monitors. I got my mics. I got my everything, dog. Like a whole brand new setup.
Oh, yeah, man. Yeah, you in business now, man. Congratulations, bro.
Yep, yep. Thank you, sir. Thank you, thank you. Really, bro, just it feels good to actually like sell some of my artwork, dude. Like that right there, bro. Shit.
Yeah, yeah, that does feel good, man. I sold art for a minute, but it wasn't none of my personal art. It was I sold like prints and stuff for other people's art, but I know how it feels to sell something that's yours, that's original to you, and somebody else take interest in it and buy that. It has to feel good. And you got to excuse me, I'm on my way home from work and I got the baby, so if you hear him talking in the background, man, I apologize.
Oh no, 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 no need to ever apologize for that, bro. I'm used to my sister's babies. I mean, I love that. I love that shit. But but yeah, bro. The thing is, dog, is that I paint oil and acrylic paint. So like, um, while the some of the paintings might seem, and I just learned this, the some of the paintings might seem like elementary, but because they're on canvas, uh made out of or like painted with oil and with acrylics, and because I consistently paint, like uh there's a market for it, dude. And I was even asked if I was interested in doing a what the fuck did they call it?
A
I
gallery?
not a gallery, but like a pre-gallery, bro.
Yeah.
Like making like a theme of like a bunch of paintings.
Yeah, yeah, you should. You should.
Yeah, I mean, I'm definitely gonna do it, dude, because that's the one thing that I've been moving towards, bro, this whole time, bro. I can't believe, like, I literally can't believe right now I'm looking at a brand new computer that I bought with my money from my art, bro. Like,
It's an incredible feeling. I know it must feel great.
it's insane, bro. It's insane. And everybody's always like, "Oh, well," and especially with that money talk happening the other day, bro. Like, I ain't gonna lie, dog. Like, sometimes I feel like I should have chased the bag, and I didn't. You know what I mean?
Oh, for sure, man. I be feeling like shit, chasing a bag every day, man. But I just go to work and grind it out, man. That way, I ain't got to just you'll be out here in this world, because you know as well as I do, man. This world is cruel, man. And once you get all the way out there, man, we'll be ended up doing. Ain't no telling what we might be doing for for a bag.
Yep,
You know what I mean?
yep. Well, what do you do? Like, I still go to work, bro. Or not every day, but I work on cars. What do you do?
Yeah, I'm kind of like in the medical field. I'm a like director of operations type deal. I just make sure the building is up to par and shit for state code, do fire drills and
Damn,
shit like that. Yeah.
that's what's up, dog. I pictured you working more like hard labor.
I mean, my trade is I'm a house framer by trade, but I don't
Hmm.
really like being outside in the cold like that. And then the contracts of building like neighborhoods and stuff like that, it's up and down and stuff. So I just wanted to be something consistent. And then I ended up getting in trouble. I went to prison for a little while. I got this felony on me, so it was kind of rough once I got out. But I got into this field and I've been sticking it out. I've been in this field for about 6 years, and it's been doing me pretty good.
And that's what's up, bro. That's what's up. Me and my brothers back home where I come from, Corpus, we uh we all had we all had subcontracting jobs, and like we all worked for different people. And when a big ass job would come up, bro, like we would all work together to pretty much cheat the system. Like two of us would go in there and overbid the job. Hold up, Don. What's up, Don? How you doing?
Hey guys, continue. Actually, we were just talking about. First of all, I didn't know you painted, and well done, by the way.
You didn't know I painted?
No, I didn't see any. Unless your mom was gonna or your dad was gonna hand me some of your old paintings when you were a child. But no, I never knew you were a painter. But well done.
Oh wow, that must have been my old channel. Like that's all I used to do. I used to do what I called spirit painting, where I would just sit with somebody for an hour and paint whatever came to mind.
Sweet. Is it a little bit like? Well, you probably actually did more directional, like how some people do ink painting, like ink block painting. I think it is called blotch.
Yeah. Well, hold on. I still have three paintings left. Hold on.
By the way, also D. Good
What's up
evening.
with you, Don?
I'm just hanging with you guys. I was just finishing
Uh,
doing laundry, and I just came. I was sleeping with my cat for a bit. She lays on my chest. She's an elderly cat. So
Good
I'm
to
with
hear
him.
from you.
Yeah, glad to hear. Same.
How many did you sell, Blind?
Now he can't say he's a starving artist. That's a good thing.
Yeah, he sound like he hit the jackpot. If he sold enough art to buy all of that stuff that he said, then he made a nice penny. What's been going on with you though, Don? What's new?
I was off for a couple of months. I started working again with my boss. I'm an electrician by trade, and I've been doing some work. So my body's just getting used to doing those ache and pain stuff.
How old are you, by the way?
I'm 61.
Goodness, you
Mm-hmm.
don't you don't sound it, and I didn't mean that in no bad way, but you don't sound 61.
I'm very young at heart. I was like my dad, very young at heart. Even physically, I'm so youthful. I think all the sports I played when I was young, and at the same time, I just try to enjoy while I'm here in life. I try not to stress out as much as I can.
Indeed, and about if you want to say what state are you in?
If I was a state, it would be New York, but I'm actually in Toronto, Canada. I'm in a province called Ontario.
So, are you Canadian or are you American?
I'm Canadian. I'm like, well, okay. Born and raised in Canada, near Toronto. I live in Toronto now. My parents were both originated from Italy, but they came here when they were very young, like like we're talking 16 and 18.
All right, so Canadian born but Italian heritage. Okay,
That's right.
all right, nice. Uh-oh, what is that? That's some of that blind art. Okay, nice.
Using red. I love it. Okay, now
Okay.
I know it. Okay, I see where you're going. But hey, I gotta
Yeah.
flip that around somehow and look at a different interpretation of that painting.
Hmm. That's like some desperado type stuff right there. Yeah,
Thanks for sharing
nice,
that with us, Blaine.
nice.
Whether Canadian or American, we're all in North America, and it's just it's a piece of land that it has a name to it.
Yeah, now how Trump is acting. Trump was like anything west on the West Hemisphere. It belongs to America. It belongs to Trump. How
No,
he acting right now?
not gonna happen. Not gonna happen. You can't own something that's already been ruled by.
Man, it's happening. He going out to Greenland and basically, man, I was Canada is America, yeah, kind of, but kind of not. You know what I mean? I mean, like, as far as what I mean when I say that is like everything in the Western Hemisphere pretty much belongs to America one way or the other. You know what I'm saying? Like, and that's just people may not believe that, but it's definitely true. Like, we're gonna fight if anybody from the East comes to the West and deals with anything on the West, we're gonna fight for it. So that's just reality. And anything we fight for pretty much belongs to us. To
Yeah,
us.
I'm gonna share something with you. Okay, you've probably heard the British Empire at one time owned 90%. They ruled 90% of the earth.
Yeah, I've heard that
Okay,
before.
okay. So let's go with that 90%. And they were boat people. Okay, Romans were foot soldiers. Do you think they gave it away?
Of course not.
Okay, so knowing that, then when you hear about China and India, that it's been handed over back to them from the British Empire, they didn't give the land back. They just give them different types of rulers on top of it. It's still ruled by the British Empire. So in Canada and America, it's still ruled by the British Empire. Now the dogs that they use are called American foot soldiers.
I believe that in my heart, and my next project, I'm going to work on like demonstrating that through history. But I believe that in my heart. You're the first person I ever heard say that, and I agree with that 100%. I
Mhm.
think that America is a facade for the crown and the church. I think the church and the crown are in cahoots, and they still
There
running
you
the
go.
world like they used to.
Thank you. The merging of the church, state and religion. Well done. Yes. Now we have to believe it, but if we look around and then you start asking questions, why do a lot of the people that the ones that own all those high rises in all these major cities, why do they have a load of gold titles? Because they don't pay directly to the monarchy. They pay directly to their clubs membership fees. So now, and again, I like to play with words. Never does it ever say that these rulers are owners. They have titles, dukes and barons. You watch movies where you're my lord. You are literally my lord if I'm working for somebody. Hopefully, he respects his position and his title, and he treats the people that are his servants with respect. It's economics. They only
Yeah,
depict. They make it look like, oh, they're slaves and masters. Yeah, there probably was a lot of human beings that were treated like slaves, and I'm not here to denounce that. But at the same time, how do you think? Well, most people, I would just ask them, how do you think this realm got built? You see these cathedrals in other parts of the world, and I'm like, did they have a union back then?
and
No.
now, absolutely, and hence the term landlord, right?
There you
It's
go.
the same. It's the same principle, and like feudalism, people the feudal system to where all of the land belonged to the monarch, and then he distributed down to the lords and the bishops
Mhm.
and the knights and then the peasants. So the way that you said it, um, it it kind of implied that you didn't believe that there were like slavery, but that is in essence slavery. If I own all
Oh,
the
there's slavery.
if I own all the economic resources, all the land, all the food, and you have to pay me taxes, then that is essentially slavery. You know what I'm saying?
Well,
Slavery, you don't necessarily have to be held in bondage.
that's right.
Slavery is just that you're forced to work for somebody,
Well,
and
I was
that's what
I was
that is.
being polite. I was being polite
Um,
when I said servant.
Okay.
That's
All
what I
right.
was going to say. Being a servant. Now, for them, they don't literally put you in ball and chain. They don't go around saying, we're going to hold back your food. No, no. You're going to go work. We're going to condition you, or your parents are going to condition you to chase a piece of paper. And in exchange, you can buy all of our products.
Or
That's,
like I own all the natural resources. Like you have to pay for water, you have to pay for electricity, you have to pay for land, you have to pay for a house, and essentially it's the same thing.
yes, it is. I'm with you 100%. It's always fun when I hear my buddy say, Dom, I'm a landlord. I said, no, you're not. You've never been a landlord. What do you mean? You've been in the housing business. Big difference. What do you mean? You're collecting rent when it comes to what's on the property from your tenants, but you've never been a landlord. A landlord would imply that you're literally the ruler of land and you collect what the government collects. It's called property tax, tribute. But again, we have to have masters and slave, but both of them have to be conditioned. You
I
get
don't
born
think
in,
we have. I don't think we have to have them. I think we're conditioned to believe that, but I don't think that's necessarily the case.
well, when it comes to economics, I've never really heard about in history that humans outside of a small tribe of maybe 100, 1,000 people in these civilized worlds, how does it work? Now, we
Uh,
can change
I,
the word. Go ahead.
yeah, I could give some examples.
Oh,
They're
please.
called acephalous societies, often equated with egalitarian. But you have massive societies before colonization came along, to where people ruled themselves, didn't have no rulers, didn't have no kingship, didn't have no chiefs, but
Hmm.
function. But the thing is, they didn't leave behind a lot of literature, so we don't know how they function. But we know that they didn't have any, as far as we can tell, no kingships or leaders in that sense. But yeah, they definitely existed. I think it benefits the people that's empowered now, for them, for us to believe that these societies have never existed. But I'm driving right now, or I could pull up some examples
No,
for
no,
you.
I trust you that you have that information. But then again, I'm not here to denounce the system, but at the same time, I'm trying to understand some parts of it. So in old, I can only speculate at this point. Maybe some of these civilizations didn't know of each other's existence. But now, because we know of each other's existence, then we play this game where they use technology, whether radio, TV, or media, Wi-Fi, or what, not Wi-Fi, but what we're using right now, to basically reinforce the conditioning by saying, I'm going to take over something. Well, I have to be a believer if I actually think you're going to take it over. First of all, Donald Trump doesn't do nothing. He's not even the main guy, because the military's been in power for the last 40 years, if not longer. So he's just like a COO. So when people hear him read from a script, then they start becoming believers. Well, he's going to be the 51st state. They're going to take over Greenland. They're going to fight Russia. And I'm like, no, none of that. Those middle managements really don't do nothing. Now, when they hear what the United Nations, like what you were talking about, the monarchies, and basically what the Vatican have to say it, then I'm going to be a little bit more concerned. Okay, how does that benefit the masses? Well, it doesn't. Well, what are the crumbs we're going to get from your table? Probably not much.
Well, you never know if he's moving on somebody else's accord. So I agree with you that Trump
Mhm.
is just, a puppet, but he could be, like the move in order to get the Venezuelan president. He may have had that. That may have came up from somebody higher. The move to take Greenland, that may come from a higher. But I agree with you. Like, Trump can't do nothing by itself.
Now, like there is a group of business people. So when the Queen of England did die, there's a good chance she didn't die when they reported it. Might have even died when they used Prince as an excuse to the
Give me a
propaganda.
second, Dom. I'm pulling
Yeah.
up to the house. I got to take my son inside, so I'm
No, no,
still
yeah,
listening, but I may not respond to you.
yeah.
I just want to let
So
you know if I don't respond,
no
I hear
problem.
you.
Give him a big. If you already haven't given him a hug, give him another hug. So there's a good chance that a lot of these other players have realigned themselves when they end up having a new king, especially the king that now basically inherits both the England landmass and also from his dad's side, because he actually had to denounce, so they tell us, his part of being a king. So now he was just like, underneath another kingship. So now that might have played a major role. And like any business, when you have a new leader, there's a whole bunch of cronies that work for them. So there might be a shift going on here. And Donald Trump and whoever these other characters are might be aligned with certain people. So their enemies are usually the elites against each other unless they actually align. for most of us, we're just not that important. Did you take off too blind, or are you excited because you got a new laptop? Is it a laptop or a computer? Mhm. And also, if you obviously you're hearing a D, you're probably aware of the World Bank and how they work and how they basically go around, having power over a lot of these countries, and usually the people that work in those countries, whether it's China, whether it's the Middle East, whether it's North America, South America, Africa.
Absolutely, the World Banks, man, got it. That's part, whoever's behind them, which we all got our speculations, but yeah, they behind a lot of, how could I say, like the way that the world works. You know what I'm saying? The current systems that we're in.
Well, especially if people just have to do a study on what they did with the Jamaican in Jamaica with their president, how they basically made him be like a puppet. They borrowed money because they were kind of no choice. They couldn't really merge with anybody, and then in the end, they got screwed. But hey, that's what they do to a lot of countries. But even that, I think it could be a facade because the people that run corporations, they're everywhere. It doesn't necessarily mean you have to be an American or Canadian or Chinese. You're just in these clubs and it's business as usual. I know that might sound horrible for some people because they have this ideal that the government works for them. No, they don't work for you. Or when people say, well, those families only care about themselves. How would most people say? They say, well, I only care about my family. The only difference is those families have to be responsible for the economic of the world. Because I've never really heard, communism out of all the isms has a chance to work in theory, but like all the other ones, you have to deal with human factors. Democracy will never work. We've already had that conversation. I knew that from the get-go. You just ask me politely to say yes or no. It'll never work. Now, maybe communism, because we've always need to consume something, whether it's information, food, water, air, we're consuming something. So now if you could coin operate it, put some sort of monetary fund on it, then it actually has some legs to it. And then you have to make sure you condition generation after generation. The schooling system might have conditioned us, but for most of our parents, as they're working and their kids are actually at school, they're being conditioned too. Got to go earn money. And then when you start hearing people say, I need money, I said, when did you ever say that you need money per se? You don't need money. And if you do obtain some of it, it might bring some of your needs. But for most of us, it's our wants. I want a drone. I want 17-inch rims. I want to make sure I have a heated home. And who's bringing that to us? I'm not saying the elites are doing it, but they're surely financing it so the rest of us in different positions will have a job. So basically what we've become is, I don't want to be per se a slave. I want to be a slave master. Oh, so you just got a different tier. Yeah. I want to whip my own. Really? And who are your own? The human race. Where they play the game is when they start dividing based on our color of our skin and our genders.
Yeah, the world is crazy, bro. Trying to figure it out.
Well, they have a term, nothing new under the sun. No matter how much we put a lot of thoughts or whatever, we never give an answer, if this doesn't use an answer, to ever satisfy whatever's going on. But the world, as much as it's crazy, the world's kind of beautiful. It's just us humans that make it kind of confusing.
I agree.
I'm pretty sure when
It's
you look
such,
at these, go ahead.
it's such an honor to even be alive, but we get to make the world the place that we want it to be, and the masses that are in charge, they made their world.
Mm-hmm. No. And you have a beautiful son, I'm assuming, and you're going to do your part. No different. Rich people are going to do their part, and hopefully, whoever these kids are, they're going to look at it and say, okay, does that include this? Is it including the whole, all of us, or just some of us? And this is what people do. They become conditioned. It's my group against your group. Oh, okay. So where's the whole group in all of that? That's why I say divide and conquer comes in many forms. And if it's been conditioned like that for a generation, it might take generations to be unconditioned, or at least go in a different direction. Sorry about that. That was my wife feeding our aging cat. We have a 20-year-old aging elderly cat. So Donnie or Dee, are you guys here? Or
I am, but I'm getting settled in. Give me a second.
okay, no problem, no problem. Are you that excited, Donnie? Are you taking your computer for a walk or something?
Can you hear me? Hello, Don.
Yes, I can. Welcome back.
Awesome. Okay. Yes. Sorry. No, I'm finalizing some of the cells, and I didn't even realize that I had to do all this stuff. So I'm like, trying to handle all of this stuff. Are you guys good though to hold it down? I'm enjoying listening to you. I have my headphones on.
Oh, okay. As long as you were here, I wasn't sure if you just stepped away completely because
No, I'm right here.
it's nice to share this kind of belief stuff. I'm a
Yes.
believer, and I like to share more beliefs with other people.
Well, thank you for joining me. I will be back. Just give me as soon as I'm done, I'll be right back on here. Okay.
No problem.
Hello.
Come back, B. Was it a fun day for you,
I'll
D?
chop it up with you for a little bit. So, what was the last thing you said? Do you remember? What was we on? I know we was talking about how the world operates.
Well, I was just saying that the world's beautiful the way it is. It's just us, and it's our behaviors that are when we're in it. You
Yeah, and I believe, man. I think the thing that people don't understand because we talk about all these systems and stuff, like we take democracy for granted, or not. I shouldn't say for granted, but we take these things as, how should I say, as like these things are like obviously right. You know what I'm saying? Like these things are self evident, but they aren't. I feel like humans learn how to do what we're doing. The systems that we are in, we created them. So like we think that, like you said, democracy is the best system, but like you, I believe that communism could work. I think socialism can work. Like these things will work however we choose to work them. You know what I'm saying? But we're conditioned to believe that other things are not possible, and it's just not true. I think that if more people understood that the world literally is what we make it, then I think that the common folk will start doing more to change the way the world is.
Well, to rephrase, well, for me to share it again, in theory, the only ism that could work is communism. Democracy will never work. Marxism would never work. Liberalism would never work. But the only reason why even communism wouldn't work is human factors. And I haven't even put in the economic part of it. See, what they
So,
do is,
so let me just ask the question before you move forward, because you said in theory
in theory,
Marxism is the only one that
no,
will work, but
humanism, sorry, communism.
yeah.
Communism
So
is the only one.
what leads you to believe this? Like what made you come to this decision?
Because humans have been kind of trained to, they always want somebody above them, whether it's a leader, a tribe leader, so they have to trust in something or someone. But unfortunately, humans have shown over and over again that we're not trustworthy with each other. Democracy is just like Republican, it's a voting system, but then you have to factor in economics, and it doesn't work. It just not, and we're even beyond the human part. So then this is where what class of people are going to be able to vote and for what intention. Now, if we're going to
So
talk, go ahead.
no, go ahead, but just I want to go back and forth with you. I want to hear what you got to say, and I'm not meaning to cut you off, but just
No, go ahead.
if you allow me to comment on the things that you say, because you'll keep going and going and going and going, and I
I'll
want to
expand it.
converse with you. I want to
Yeah, go
converse
ahead.
with you.
I get it. Yeah, please.
No, no,
I enjoy your grounding. You're keeping on track. I appreciate it. I do get into tangent because in my little brain, I'm actually thinking, okay, so if those things don't work, what does work? Nature works. Nature's wild and untamed. Why would you want to domestify it? And then now we're at the human stage.
So, I just read a book called The Dawn of Everything by David. I think you pronounce his last name like Graeber or something like that. And in his book, he gives some of the accounts of like some journal entries from the colonists who came here and what was going on whenever they met the indigenous people, and
Mhm.
vice versa. Some of the accounts of where some of the indigenous people learned English, and they give their accounts of the colonizers, right?
Yep,
So,
I'm with you. I'm with you so far. And it doesn't matter what shade of color they are of their skin. There's colonizing done in all. Anyway, I carry on. Sorry, my apologies.
Indeed, but in terms of the system, the colonists were in awe because whenever they approached these people and made contact with them, they were leaderless, right? And you have accounts upon accounts to where how English people, European people were just in awe on how these societies functioned without leaders. You know what I'm saying? And I just learned this myself too. Like this is not uncommon. And then you go into South America, same thing. You go into Africa, same thing. You know what I'm saying? They would run into these people, these so-called communities, these so-called civilizations without leaders. You know, so and then he starts expounding on like through anthropology because he's an anthropologist by degree or whatever. And what they come to determine is like, you know, things are like seasonal. Like they'll have specific people that they'll go to for certain things. Like if you're hunting, you want to let the best hunter lead, but he's not the leader of the whole society. Like if you dealing with some type of issue in the community, in the civilization, you might go to somebody who's good at that, but and that's as far as people want to listen to him because you don't have to listen to him. So I just thought it was real interesting that I was able to read some of these accounts of where different types of people were running into each other with different types of systems. But we have documented over and over again with these colonizers going to these different continents, run into headless societies, and they call them like a syphilis is the term, which is like synonymous with egalitarianism, but it's not the same. They call it means a headless society, meaning no leaders, no master.
Well, I'm going to change the words around here. We have what's called leaders and we have what's called rulers. And a lot of these civilized part is about rulers. So now, when people lived in tribal time, and they still do, you would find the ones among them that have gifts, and then they can lead us in those areas. So what ends up happening is you find out there's a mystic among you, or a shaman, or a wizard, or a warlord. You know, again, the warlord's kind of fun. But once you realize that, and that's why some tribal people understood when it was given to them from somewhere else, we'll play that ideal, somewhere else, that they did a certain substance and they found out they can actually communicate through the eye of a hawk, or they understand how to actually become hunters or farmers. So again, probably more hunters than it is about farmers, because farmers now have become more domesticated. Hunters were more or less wild and untamed. It's like when we start domestifying our foods and our animals and our species of humans, this is when we start getting into a different type of, now we have rulers. But if you're truly a leader, you should also be a follower. So you're the example of how to lead and follow. But again, we do have these lords. Now, these lords could probably of old say, I'm going to still be kind to the people that serve me because I serve something above me. This goes to the pyramid ideal. But unfortunately, once you start bringing in this type of economics and then we introduce this type of technology, now we're going to run into all kinds of problems. And it's not just about who owns all this stuff, or at least pretends to own it. It's actually, what does it do to the body when we're surrounding ourselves with all these different frequencies? You know, and the distraction is, so let's distract them with whatever media is going to tell you and not really realize, well, wait a second, why am I becoming a diabetic besides just the food I eat? Or why am I having Alzheimer's or other issues? You know, again, and then what they do is, even back in those days, they would have wars. What do you mean? Well, we're trying to shave off the top. You know, we're trying to depopulate. Why? Because as we become more clustered into these little civilizations, we can't actually feed the majority of the people that we need for our purpose. You know, even though clearly through observation, we could probably take the whole Earth's surface and we could be about 30 billion people, if there's such thing as even 8 billion right now, and we wouldn't have that issue. But for most of us, we've become comfortable. The death of the community was when we started having vehicles, cars and planes. And that is actually what happens to a community. Most people think, well, my family is, you know, we don't have family anymore. No, it's our community that actually died first. You know, what I would know, I saw your son, when my son misbehaving the other day, I would trust you that you dealt with it, right? Oh yeah, Dom, I took him in the back and had a really stern talk. Thank you. I would have no qualms with that. But other people say, but you can't raise my kids. Well, then why are you sending them to school then? Why are you going to the grocery store? At that point, people can't even say that they're raising themselves.
And Dave, I wanted to touch on the thing that you said prior, as far as just like you were, like, in theory, you know, the only thing that we could have was something like communists, and then we could have, like, a society where everybody was because humans tend to want to have a leader or a master head of the society. I want you to know, Dom, that I'm actually writing a book on that premise, right? Because even in science, uh, science, um, science tries to uh, reiterate the notion that that we are hierarchical beings. Even in theology, they try to reiterate the notion that we are hierarchical beings because, right, in theology, you have a hierarchy in heaven. And through the ideology of theology, it says that we're supposed to be trying to mimic that hierarchy of heaven, right? And then also we'll look out and project this onto nature, right? We'll look at the bees and say that, oh, it's the queen bee, but it's really not. And literally, we look at all this stuff and we think that we're seeing a hierarchy, but we're really projecting. So I'm challenging all of these notions, and I feel like it's really interesting that you said that because I believe that that's what they want us to believe, that hierarchy is innate. Hierarchy is biologically wired within us, but I beg to differ, and I'm demonstrating in my writing what I'm writing now that it's contrary. Right, I think they want us to believe that, but it's not the case. And I'm like 27,000 words in it right now.
Well done. Well done that you're actually putting your thoughts into pen and paper. Basically, what you just shared, we're probably going to lose a lot of people. I was trying to tippy toe around the ideal of, like communism and on a human level, but then there's that being part that you're mentioning. Yes. And we can play the ideal in the unknown, whether we call it heaven or all the different types of kingship that they have, So again, then who's ruling over us? Are we being ruled by humans or being ruled by some other kind of species? I would speculate and say we're ruled by other species because the technology that we have, humans we're too simple. We're too simple when we're in these forms. I can tell my buddies, okay, anybody here know anybody created Wi-Fi? And please don't tell me Elon Musk. Who gave us the alchemy of language. And please don't tell me it was Shakespeare, because all of them were babies at one time. So that language already existed, but from where? At that point, we would almost have to do critical thinking to deduct all the things that I've been told. And yes, most of it at that point, then I would have to be a believer. I got to believe in the things that I'm aware of as best as I can. And even that, it's been fed to me. It's always fun when I hear people say to me, Dom, I'm a non-believer. I said, you're an atheist, right? Well, yeah. So how can you prove that God doesn't exist? Well, I can't. I guess then you're a believer.
Yeah, indeed. And I don't think so I think that's I know what you mean. So an atheist position, right, in the non-belief in God, right, the onus is on the person who believes, right? You wouldn't ask a person who says that I don't think God exists to prove the existence of God because my position is that he don't exist. I don't have any evidence. So you wouldn't ask the atheist, you would ask the believer,
No,
right?
I would
Well,
ask them. Oh, trust me, D. I would ask them. I have fun with atheists and humanism. It'd be like me saying, okay, I'm going to point to the sky now. What created the sun and the moon? You can give me any name. You can say reptilian or whatever, but that's not human origin, isn't it? So then where the fuck do you get off thinking there's no such thing as whatever word I want to fill in? Now, the ones that want to believe that God created all of that, that might be true, but I can still look up there and say, no, humans created that. The humans, what they do is say, I don't believe. I said, okay, fine. It's like somebody tell me, Dominic, we did go to the moon. Okay, well, where's the evidence? Well, I don't think we did go to the moon. I said, okay, you think or you know for sure that we didn't go to the moon? And then they'll tell you a story and they'll usually parrot somebody or some written work. I said, then you're a believer then, aren't you? Atheists are just as much as a believer as the person that says they believe a God does or doesn't exist. But they're not
yeah,
willing to challenge that.
yeah, their belief is different. Like whenever you say I believe God don't exist, that's a belief in and of itself.
There you
But
go.
it's not supernatural though. The opposite side requires a supernatural belief. The atheist position is believing in the natural, right? And has
Okay.
no reason to believe that the supernatural exists.
Okay. And then I will go. I say, okay, let's go with the material part. And as soon as they tell me the Big Bang, I said, you got to be a believer now, don't you, in the Big Bang, don't you? Well, Dominic, science. No. Science, give me a name. Give me one human being, I'll fucking tear them apart. At that point, they're a believer. We're all believers. How does economic work? Oh, I don't know, Dom. Okay, so if I told you a story about fiat currency and they print it, well, Dom, I don't believe in that. I said, well, then where's your stance then? Because you're working in it. Like I said, the materialist people are a funny fucking bunch. Especially when I point out to them, I said, where's the word that you just described all these objects? I don't know. I said, so could we use the word maybe spiritual? Again, we're using what they've conditioned us with, the English language. It has many meanings to it. And it's usually the ones that actually try to defend it. I said, if you're truly a person that values whatever you believe or don't believe, it would be a mute point. It's usually the ones that want to defend or attack. I said, then you must be a believer. I know I'm a believer in some areas. I will talk about the Earth's surface, and I'll say maybe it's a globe, maybe it's flat, but I haven't been high enough to confirm either way.
Indeed.
But people will defend it to no end. I said, oh, so you're one of those people that will defend the flag, won't you? There you go. I'm a believer. And then they'll use words to justify it. Well, it's the land of the free. Okay, so you're a military guy. Let's just pick one country. You're an American, and you're actually defending your country. How the fuck are you defending your country when you're in somebody else's land?
Right, you're the aggressor.
That's the invader. That's the colonizer. Anybody that's in America and actually gets the rewards of the American empire right now, you're a colonizer. Welcome to the club. We're all colonizers. We just thought for some reason, yeah, but I was less colonized than you. Really? Last time I remember, I'm going to expend my energy to chase down a piece of paper. How did it come to be? You know, and there's other people, I really don't want nothing to do with the system. So you're going to take one of their planes and pay for a ticket to go to another part of the world? That sounds like a very selfish act.
No, indeed, I agree. Yeah, the people that say they don't believe they in the same boat, especially like you said, the ones who want to attack everybody else's belief. And for me, they're trying to disprove what they believe. You know what I'm saying? Like anybody that's going out there attacking people for what they believe and saying that they're a non-believer, you're just trying to see if your shit stands up, right? You know what I'm saying? So it's something within you that still believe, and you just want to, go through the motions to see if somebody can convince you otherwise.
Yeah, it's a story. I get it. And a lot of people will lean towards hope or faith. They'll have faith in something called heaven and hell. Okay, all the power to you. Who am I to argue with them? No different. Somebody said, I have faith the system's not going to collapse. Okay. I have faith the system is going to collapse. Oh, okay. Okay. You tell me. Now, if I start asking for nuts and bolts, they're going to turn around and either tell me some story, meaning that, I read a book. I said, that's a story. Carry on. Well, I heard somebody talking about it on podcasts. Okay. Tell me on. Now, they might make it about me. So what about you? I said, I already know I'm telling you a story. Whether or not it's true or not, it's still a story. Now, am I trying to sell them the story? I'm not that type of person. I will challenge the words and I'll find it entertaining. I said, okay, tell me when you're done with entrapping yourself. Because last time I remember, we're living in a system that has different types of economic monetary notes. But dare not find out, maybe they're all interconnected. Well, I don't believe in that, Dom. Okay, but you're using the system, right? Well, yeah. So you believe the system, but you're not willing to challenge the system. You sound very ignorant at that point. And then, of course, some of those folks, they'll use diarrhea of the mouth. I said, okay, please don't tell me you went to university to learn about fucking something, because that's 1 degree. Well, I'm an economic person. There you go. There's that guy that got that 1 degree.
Right. And I am trying to sell my story, but everybody has their different beliefs on what purpose is, right? What the human purpose is. And my belief is that, every man has a responsibility to dictate the world in the way that they see fit. Right. And, and let the chips fall where they may. Whenever I look into history, that's what history has proven to me, is that, we all have a right to, push the world in the direction and the way we see fit. And that's why I'm writing. So I do want to sell my vision to the world, and hopefully they take hold of it. More than likely they won't, but I think that's why we on here. You know what I'm saying? Chopping up amongst each other, because, we're trying to get our views out there. We're trying to contrast our views amongst each other, make sure we are on the right track. You know what I'm saying? Or just philosophizing. That's what philosophy is about. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, man.
Well, like I said, I hope the best for you. I hope you sell 1 million books. Philosophy is about the love of wisdom, discernment. At that point, you're stepping beyond knowledge. But for most people, they're caught up in belief systems. So that's a stumbling block, which I enjoy playing that game, by the way. But once you become somewhat aware, you'll become knowledgeable. It doesn't mean you have wisdom and understanding, but you're knowledgeable. Okay, so now what would I do with discernment? Well, you usually words like why. No different how. How is more scientific, but the whys are philosophy. But most people make it sound like, oh, philosophy, it's just nothing. I said everything that we use in this realm is about philosophy. How do things come to be? Why do things come to be? You know, how does the sun work? Why does the sun work that way? Now, we can speculate and probably have no satisfying answer. And that's why people write thousands of books. All the power to them. I'm never going to denounce somebody from writing a book. But if we had this technology that we have right now, back in the days when they brought in the written work, we wouldn't have the written work because it does a lot to the hemispheres.
Well, yes, and when I say sell, I don't only mean literally like all that you just said. You're trying to sell that to me. You know what I'm saying? Maybe not
Sure.
intentionally, but
Sure.
if I yeah, you know what I'm saying. And I'm trying to sell what I'm saying to you, which is cool because neither one of us have to buy it. You know what I mean? Like you don't have to buy anything anybody's selling, literally or figuratively. But I love language, and if it weren't for language, we wouldn't be where we are at. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? Like especially the written down word, because the written down word prevents you of inventing the wheel twice, trying to reinvent the wheel, I should say. You know what I'm saying? It's how you record history, and you don't have to rely on somebody else's mind or somebody else's, interpretation. You know what I'm saying? So, words, stories are are important. You know what I'm saying? We need those to like progress.
The example I would give is we have certain elements and then you start mixing them together. You're going to get different results by mixing different kinds of elements. So, written word symbology is one type of language. When you start seeing it with one of your senses, that's a different type of languages. Once you start mixing them together, you're going to get some interesting outcomes. So, for example, say somebody does the written work. Now, the question would be, because you have the visual language of sense, of seeing, now, do I read it from left to right, right to left, up and down and up? Do I read it in a book form or scroll form? Each of those things will give you different results. No different when somebody writes with their left hand and then start writing the same thing with their left hand versus the right hand. You'll get different outcomes. They're not learning how to write with your feet. So now, when people become aware of that, what they're doing is they're listening inwards now. For me, I really don't try to sell anything to people. I just expect them at best maybe to respect me by hearing me out. And then hopefully some things will be noteworthy, hence terminology when we have chakras. Then a person will realize, okay, I'm stuck, my heart's stuck. So that's where you're having a challenging time hearing another person. Because nobody can really force anybody to do anything. And if they do, now you're talking about karma. And most people don't want to play that game, even though we're under laws. Again, this is where people use the word letter of the laws. Laws are for nature, hence the word laws. Land, air, water, and space. And what is nature? Wild and untamed. But we try to tame it. We have domestic animals. It's always fun when I hear buddies tell me, well, Dom, I'm not a vegetarian. I like to eat wild game. I said, that's nice. So, and then there's other people like to eat domestic game. Okay. I'm okay. And they're going to be their own scientists. Well, when I eat wild game, I feel this kind of strength. When I eat domestic, I feel this way. Oh, okay. And that can happen with plants, wild plants versus domestic plants. It's not like as though we're going to invent the wheel here. This information has been shared over and over again. And it's the person that really wants to be the student inwards and say, okay, I can write about it, but keep in mind, other people have written about it. I'm not going to catch a lot of fish. When I say a lot, you're not going to catch us all. You'll catch the occasional person that's actually seeking, and usually through some sort of tragedy, such as they got a divorce or a loved one lost something, and now they're going to say there must be more to life than this. And then some people become disenchanted of the system, and then they want to go back to the old system. I'm like, okay, so you want to live in nature? No problem. The gate's going to stay open here. What do you mean? Well, because most of them are going to come back anyway, because we've been conditioned. And it takes a lot of effort to decondition somebody. But I get from you, D, you have a good grounding with you. So you can present this stuff and not feel as though anybody's going to change your view on anything. And I respect that if that's what you choose to do.
No, I'm open. Like I'm open for my view to be changed. I'm not like I'm a person. I'm a lover of knowledge and wisdom. So why
Mhm.
wouldn't I'll be open to it? I think anybody who comes into conversation and doesn't like really entertain what somebody's saying with the intent of possibly being swayed, then you're being disingenuous to yourself. You're being untruthful to yourself because there's a phrase that I know that you probably remember also. Matter of fact, it was a commercial. And at the end of the commercial, it said you can learn a lot from a dummy. You know what I'm saying? So
Mhm.
I I like that phrase because I have learned lessons from people that were stupid, right? A dumb person shows you what not to do. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
So, and they might drop a jewel every now and then, but I say all that to say is, yeah, I'm open to be swayed. You know what I'm saying? Like that's what to me, that's another part of philosophy, right? We bouncing our ideas off of each other in order to build something great, in order to make ourselves better, in order to make the world better. You know what I'm saying? You cannot be closed off thinking that you know everything. A person that thinks he knows everything don't know nothing. You know what I mean? So I'm always open to grow.
Well, even if they did know a lot of things, would they apply discernment? I would lean more towards the beginner's mind. I'm very hesitant when I hear open-minded because I would value more for me anyway, the receiving mind. I'm willing to challenge whatever I hear within myself. I'm not challenging other people. I might challenge the words. So hence why I would say openly, I hear others, but I'm always listening from within, hence the term meditation. So when a person realizes for themselves, oh, so because some people are visual creatures, and some people can actually reflect, and there's other people, they just allow themselves to be more open with their will, if there's such thing as open with their will, and then eventually they might actually channel. And then when a person is usually channeling, they're the student. So something's channeling through them. They're the ones that really are supposed to be hearing what they're saying out loud. So when I speak, I'm hearing myself. That's for my benefit. Now, other people say, what about me? I said, yeah, you can do whatever you want with that. I'm not here to try to convince anybody, especially the concept of selling. There's already a lot of stuff that people are trying to sell. And I'll gladly buy some of it. I want to buy a drone, but I'm not going to actually scrutinize the people that are making the drone by saying, yeah, but is that going to harm the environment? Well, that's kind of a given.
Any type of philosophy that you have absorbed and taken to heart, you got
Mhm.
sold on it. Like a lot of the
Yep.
concepts that you're talking about now, like
Beliefs.
meditation, like that was
Beliefs.
like that. Yeah, you had to get that from somewhere. Like you said, a lot of the things under the sun
Mhm.
have already been here. So a lot of the themes, a lot of the concepts, a lot of the constructs, a lot of the ideas, they were sold to you in one way or the other, and you took them in. You know
Sure
what
I
I'm
did.
saying? Like
Yeah.
you didn't come up with uh 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 shit
Or you name
70%
anything,
of the
Dave,
things
I'm
that
with you. I'm with you. I've spent 10, well, 10, 15 years probably listening to stuff when I go to sleep. I'm obviously fucking around with my REM sleep, but I would listen to all kinds of stuff while I'm probably in my sleep state. So I'm taking in information, whether or not it's truthful, dishonest, whatever, I'm taking it in. I'm just trying to challenge myself, saying, Dom, don't get caught up about right or wrong. Don't get caught up if you agree or disagree. That's judgment. I literally hear myself saying to other people, who am I to judge? I'm not here to judge other people. Do I still judge? Yes. But I try not to do it openly. Like, I get it. We play sports. We have to have winners and losers. But I want to learn more about the sport, not just the fact that, okay, this team won, this team lost. I want to learn, okay, so that guy got hurt. How does he rehab himself? How did that person learn how to dunk a basketball? How did that person learn how to do all those different chess moves? For a lot of people, we've been conditioned. Yeah, but I only praise people that are winners. Oh, okay. Okay.
yeah, you said a word discernment, and I agree. We have to use our discernment, and I do like listen in order to know right and wrong, true or false, because
Mhm.
there's people out here that's deceptive, right? That's trying to deceive people, that's trying to get over on people that's trying to accumulate power, and those are the people. Like when me and you conversing, I don't worry about that, but the world in a bigger sense, I have to be concerned with that because there's people that will use the name of God in order to trick you, right? They'll
That's
try to
always fun. Yeah, they use God's name in vain. Like, okay, how about I play the ideal? Let's play the game that maybe the gods don't even interfere with us. Maybe I'm speculating when I say that. No different. Somebody else say, "Listen, God bless you." I'm like, "So you're speaking on behalf of God?" I get it. People usually say things, they don't really challenge themselves. Same with me. You just keep me grounded because you're trying to follow the conversation, but you also know where you want to go with it, and that's why I have to say, "Oh yeah, you're just asking me a very simple yes or no question, a close-end question."
And indeed, man. I like to have constructive conversation, man. It's fun to me. Like I say, I keep myself sharp. I enjoy talking to like-minded individuals. You know what I mean? It's just I don't get to exercise. It's exercise to me, and I don't get to exercise my mind a lot. Some people sit in front of the TV and just absorb things all day long, and that's not what type of individual I am. I like to, really try to learn and try to, share, and try to grow, and this helps me. This helps me. I get to hear other perspectives that I haven't heard before, things like that. But I just arrived to my partner's house, so I'm gonna jump off here. It's been nice talking to you, Don.
So, do you have a beautiful night? Okay, enjoy yourself.
Yeah. Peace, blind. If you're listening, I'll talk to you guys later. Peace.
Now, it's just two, the electrician and the painter. Hope you're there, blind still, unless you're somewhere else finishing off certain things. If you can hear this, Donnie, I don't know if you want to do this later on, if you want to, because I know you're probably busy now. I'll make myself available anywhere between 10 and 11 tonight, if you want. If not, have a beautiful day, Donnie.